We continue learning Amud Yomi, Gemara and Berachos. Hey Amud Beis. We start with Hey Amud Aleph. 5 lines from the bottom on the 2 dots. Tanya Rav Shimon Bar Yochai Omer. Shalish matanas tavis tavis Baruch Li Yisrael v'kulan lanintan aladi Yisurim. On the topic of Yisurim, on the topic of things that cause us pain, says Rashbi, 3 incredible gifts that Baruch Hu gave to Klal Yisrael with Yisurim. Elohim. Torah Eretz Yisrael va'olam haba. Explains the Gemara 3 lines on the bottom. Torah minayim shnamar Hashem gever tetes renuka. Praiseworthy is the man that Hashem gives Yisur. Mitaros chaslan denu. Eretz Yisrael d'sev ki kasher yaser has been just like a father gives toichacha to Esau and Hashem lekacham yasrecha. And then right after Hashem giving yasrecha ksiva asrei kishim alekacha meviach l'eretz hatayva. So the precursor of going to Eretz Yisrael is Yisurim. Oilam alaris teva. Oilam abal dechsev kiner mitzvah teirav derechayim techachos mosar. And as Rashi explains, derechayim is referring to the life of Oilam abal, which is following by techachos mosar. Tana Gaved Rav Yechon goes to Batarik Milos Chasadim veKoiver as one of Rachman Litzlan and Hayam at the top line. Moichlin Layakov and nice if you get to complete Kabara. Amalei Rav Yechon Bishlam Batarik Milos Chasadim Dechsev Chas Ve'amis Yichubar Havon. So we see that Chesed Ve'ames Gemilos Chasadim brings Kabara. Chesed Gemilos Chasadim Shenemar. Right is Dakav Chesed Yimsal Chayim that brings life. Sedakav Chavoin. Ms that refers to Zatar Shenemar Ms Kana Avlay on Timkar. Alakav has Bana Minayin. So therefore we see that stuck up chesed brings to kabar zavaynus. Where do we see kabar as ban of Rachman al-Litzlan? Tanalei Ahuz Hamishum Rashbi as Yavoin Ksevach v'chesed mizchul parav and Ksevas Mashla u'Mishalim Avoin Avois El Chek Beneim. Over there, the father's repaying with his averais with his children. Avoin shows us that kapara comes via one's children, Rachman al-Litzlan, dying. Continues the Gemara, Amr Rav Yechon on 10 lines down. The first one line is Beinayam. Amr Rav Yechon Negayim Ubanim Ini Yisurin Shalav. Says Rav Yechonon, Negayim, afflictions, Banim, children are never going to be Yisurin Shalav. Negayim Lo, asked the Gemara, really? Vatani Komi Shesh Ba'achar Me'arba Maris Negayim Aloin Elam Mizvech Kabara. Negayim give a Kabara. Answers the Gemara, you're right. Mizvech Kabara Havi, it doesn't give a Kabara, but Yisurin Shalav Eloavi, it's not as far as it's actually being Yisurin Na'ava. V'Baisema, Halan V'Alhu, which Rashi explains the difference is that in Bavel, which you don't have to leave the encampment, therefore it's going to be Yisurin Shalav in Eretz Yisrael, in which Saras causes you to have to leave the whole Machana, therefore it's not called Yisurin Shalav. V'Baisema, third Teretz, Habitzina, Habib Zarasya. If it's in public, everyone knows about it, it's not Yisurin Shalav. Ask the Gemara, says Negayim. Great. Ubanim Loi, really children are not a kapara. If one has children and they are nifter Rachman al-Zlan, remember Rav Yechon didn't cover the Siri beer. Rav Yechon used to walk around with the bone of his 10th son, clearly showing that it brought a kapara. So it must be if he didn't have any children at all, that is not a kapara. If one had children, they were nifter Rachman al-Zlan, then it is a kapara. Are you happy with your Yisur? No way. And not the reward. He said, give me your hand. And Rav Chia was able to, Rav Yechon was able to heal Rav Chia. Now, in the flip side, Rav Yechon himself was chalash. Rav Chanina went to visit Rav Yechon, who is now sick. So Rav Chanina said, saying to Rav Yechon, give me your hand. Ask the Gemara, I don't understand. A moment ago, Rav Yechon was able to heal Rav Chia Barabba. Now, when Rav Yechon himself gets sick, he can't heal himself. Am I like him? Rav Yechon Avshei, why did Rav Yechon heal himself? Amri answers the Gemara, famous Yisai, in Chavish Mata Beis Asurim, one cannot get himself out of jail. Rav Eliezer Rav Eliezer was now sick, and Rav Yechon went to visit him. He sees him sleeping in a dark house. Kali Adri Rav Yechon exposed his arm. And somehow the radiance of his skin caused the room to be lit up. As the room gets lit up, Rav Yechon sees Rav Eliezer is crying. Why are you crying? You don't learn enough Torah. What do you mean? You have to do as much as you can. Not everyone is zeicha to both Torah and Parnasa and money. And if it's cause of kids, Bini Garment Asir Beer says Rav Yechon, I also lost my children. Amar Lei. So Rav Eliezer responds to Rav Yechon, you know what, I'm crying like Shofar Debali Ba'afra Kabachin. I'm crying about you. That you, Rav Yechon, one day will be nifter, that your beauty will rot in the ground. Amar Lei, and Rav Yechon responds, I'll die on this. They both cried together. Now, what exactly that means, that they're crying about the beauty of Rav Yochanan, is always a good discussion, but we always go with simple pshat, and let's move on. As this is happening, give me your hand. And he was healed. On the last narrow line, Rav Huna tekifale arba me'os Dani Decham. Rav Yehuda had 400 barrels of wine that turned sour. On the first medium-sized line, Rav Yehuda went, Achua de Rav Selach Hasidah, brother of Selach Hasidah, V'Rabbanan, and the Rabbanan, V'Amilan, some say it was Rav Barava, V'Rabbanan, V'Amilei, Lain Marbe Milei, 400 barrels of your wine turned sour, you have to look into your actions. Amrlahu, Ichashinu Beinaichu, really? Rav Huna said, "Are you chayshish? I did something wrong?" Amrulay, they responded to Rav Huna, "Ki chashish Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Tavadina B'Laydina." What do you mean? And if you didn't do something wrong, that means you are chayshish Hakadosh Baruch Hu did something wrong. Amrulay, he commanded Shamim Le'alay Milsa Lema. So Rav Huna said, "If anyone knows anything I did wrong, let him tell me." Amrulay, they said, "Achishmil," and we heard, "They have a marsha bishal arisei." That you don't pay your artist, your sharecropper. Are you with branches? He doesn't leave me anything. The sharecropper steals everything. That's why I didn't pay him. Amrulay, they responded to him, what? Two wrongs make a right? What are you doing? It's true that he's stealing, but you still have to pay him for that which he did. Amr, the host, Rav Huna said, you're okay. I'm accepting by myself to pay him that which he needs. And says the Gemara, absolutely fascinating, that when he's makabel to do tshuva, what happens? Some say that the vinegar turned back to wine. The price of vinegar rose, and it turned to the price of wine. The absolutely incredible power of tshuva, just a mere acceptance to do better, brought about the ultimate Yeshua and Nes. And we continue on the last medium-sized line of Hayam and Beis Tanya. And two things I was in pain. I was careful about doing my entire life. My tefillah should be literally in front of my bed. And my bed should be placed being Safal. Explains the Gemara. What does it mean that his tefillah was in front of his bed? That when he davened, his bed was in front of him. Davar chaytzeitz lebeino lebein kier, beino lebein kier. How do you know when you daven, you absolutely also daven facing a wall, and should be nothing blocking between you and the wall. Shenemar v'yasav v'chizkel panav l'kier chizkel, put his face to the wall v'yispalo. So why are you telling me he davened by his bed? Explains the Gemara. Loitim lefnei mitasa. It doesn't mean in front literally. Alema samach lemitasi. That what Rashi explains, that means that as soon as he woke up, he didn't learn Torah, he didn't do anything. He immediately said Shema and davened. That his bed should be between north and south. What does that mean? And what do you get? Males, children, never Banim. Not only do you get good kids, your wife will not miscarry. Rashi explains that what's the mile over here, having your bed north to south. The reason is that the Shechina is in the Mizrach and the Ma'ariv, and therefore when one is Mishamish and one husband and wife are together, you want to be in a way that is facing the Shechina, and that's the reason why your bed should be north to south. And we'll pick it up from Abba bin Yamin in the next year. B'siyata Dishmaya.